No longer do I feel the probing gaze of the Watching One. Is this your doing, newest of the Arisen? I am he who brought the dragon low, and o'er its bones raised the proud kingdom of vermin. Despite the magnitude of my feat, I was dissatisfied and sought ere greater heights, till at last I ruled the world entire. Thus did I come to know of the Watching One. The being by whose many eyes and ears no one or thing in this world goes unobserved. As to the purpose with which they watch, I know not. Yet I did divine one thing. This world has lain neath the Watching One's unwavering gaze ere the dawn of its history. I despaired at this discovery, for if all is but a stage, did that not render my hard-won glories, my throne astride the world, mere spectacles for the... Why, 'twas all a farce, and I, the fool, exulting in my wooden crown. Do you understand, newest of the Arisen? This is why I sought to fell the Watching One. Alas, though I cut down all who seemed false, be they man or woman, human or beastly, young indeed, my efforts led only to my own ruin. I was dubbed the Mad Sovereign, and by the hand of a new Arisen. Yet, I can only assume that you have achieved what I could not. How else to explain the changes I sense in the world? Ah, what bitter gall that I cannot witness the outcome for myself. Falter not, newest of the Arisen, for your hand, fading spirit though I am, I may...
I see you have returned, Arisen One. The Mad Sovereign has called, and so we answer. If you would save the people of this world from ruin, lead them here, for this place may chance to escape the coming destruction.
I imagine the people of this world will welcome the tidings that there is a place of refuge awaiting them.
Since times of eld, remember, draconic blood flows through the veins of lesser drakes as well. Bring me what ye reap. And I shall harness it to your benefit. Then I bid ye farewell.
Master, my heart knows no greater peace than when I am by your side.
Your Majesty. How glad I am to see you safe. Where have you been this past month? The end of the world. Are things truly so dire? Though, I am aware of the dragon attack on Melv. We received word that naught but a smoking ruin remains. 'Twas a tragedy, and I would not see it repeated. However, without a clear path, we in the Guard shall be hard-pressed to forestall the impending crisis. You would have me evacuate the city? Ever since the fall of Melv, the citizens of Vernworth have lived in fear that their homes are next to be assailed. If there is safe harbor to be found elsewhere, I believe we have naught to lose by seeking sanctuary. But I doubt I could convince the people of this city to abandon their homes, however terrified they may be. Methinks your Majesty would do better to ask this of the Regent King. After the false sovereign vanished and the world was altered, His Grace has been the one keeping order here in Vermont. If the people will heed anyone, 'tis him.
Maintaining order in Vermont must be quite a burden upon the young Regent King. Let us aid him however we may.
Of course.
Mayhap we could bring the people to the seafloor shrine. I expect 'twould grant us a bit more time. But will the people do as we suggest? The crux of the problem is how best to convince them.
We shall remain here.
This is more than I bargained for.
So you've come. I'm glad to see you. Captain Brandt has already apprised me of your proposal, a full-scale evacuation of the citizenry. Truth be told, I had reached the same conclusion. So long as we cower within these walls, we must live in fear of going the way of Melv. My ministers have approved the plans, and I have petitioned the encampment survivors and the Thieves' Guild for aid. The only remaining obstacle is my mother. She has set herself stubbornly against any such flight. I have tried to make her see reason, but of late she has taken to shutting herself in her chambers. However, I fear that my position permits me to entertain her fancy no longer. I must put the needs of the common folk before her selfish whims. Now, there are a few matters I must attend to before we can evacuate. We will require several ox carts to carry the sick. Might I prevail upon you to petition the merchant at the ox cart station? You may assure him that the royal treasury will foot any and all expenses.
Queen Regent Disa hardly leaves her chambers, and all her meals come back scarcely touched. Between you and me, I fear for her health. Have you come to claim my life? But I shall go to the grave with a smile on my lips. So do as you will. I have no intention of begging for mercy. What are you doing? Unhand me at once! Guards! Help me!
You have brought Mother to me, I see.
Sven.
You may leave us. Now that we can speak without a door twixt us, I am confident that I can persuade her. This was in Mother's room. I did wonder where it had gotten off to. But why would she... Mother, I must beg your forgiveness. I believed that you desired to make me sovereign solely for your own benefit. Yet in truth, you sought to better the lot of our people.
Ah, but I would have benefited. And handsomely at that. Besides, I cannot deny that I was proud. I wished to see my own son on the throne, and no other.
Even so, I cannot help but feel that all of this could have been avoided. If I had but better known your heart, I could have shared in your burdens. You would not have had to suffer alone, and perhaps together we could have walked a better path.
Oh, Sven.
Mother, I beg you, join the evacuation. You need not fall with this city. I would not see you take your crimes wholly on your own shoulders. That weight is as much mine to bear as 'tis yours.
My son, you truly would make a fine and goodly ruler. Your kindness will save many lives. Of that I have no doubt.
Would you be so kind? You may assure him that the royal treasury will foot...
Captain will have my head if I skip another beat. I'm tired of breaking my back for someone else. I could see myself.
Might look your partner up with someone
Herald
else.
you not from a moment's impulsion.
Quiet at last.
old days for us are a sign that all is
As long as I get my gold, who takes the carts is no concern of mine.
We have chartered the ox guards as requested. 'Tis a pleasant change for things to go so smoothly, eh, Master?
Well said.
Wood of all my days. Not that this war ever happened here, anyhow.
Ah, you've returned. How fares your procurement of those you do? That puts paid to the last of our preparations. I will inform the citizenry forthwith.
my
Can't
sword.
stomach places such as
This sort of quiet. Mayhap I'll come here when I'm ready to listen.
I have been waiting for you, Arisen.
this place is all dull. I'm going to hit the sack.
Here another moment. It's a good time, this place.
All this hustle and bustle puts me right at home.
You're a welcome sight, Arisen. As ever,
I know precisely when a curative is needed, Master.
a well-organized pack is my specialty. I'll see to it.
I happen to understand Elvish, Master. I expect you'll find my talents
I've a knack for gathering items, and am ever on the hunt for new finds.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. 'Tis a pleasure to meet you. Restoration and reinforcement are the purview of a mage. You'll be safe in my care, Arisen. I have a modest talent for spotting materials that can be used to enhance your equipment. I can even mark...
You're a welcome sight, Arisen. As ever, I'm yours to command. I happen to understand Elvish, Master. I expect you'll find my...
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
My talents lie in combining materials, and I'll use those in my possession to craft things for you in my spare time.
Are you certain you're happy to have me along?
A troubling rumor has reached my ears, and methinks I ought to share it. We seem to have arrived without issue. But are we safe here?
You've pushed your luck too far.
I'll not take that from you.
Pray calm yourselves, good people. I will have none of this squabbling.
So, Manella, you don't understand. This scoundrel's the one who started it.
No, you don't understand. This is no time for the people of Batal to be quarreling amongst themselves. We shan't weather this calamity unless we can recall our common purpose and unite our efforts towards it.
What are you waiting for?
Ah, Sir Arisen. You are returned. With the world in such disarray, I could not stand to be away from. Thus did I return, to render what aid I may. I maintain order as best I can, but for every fire I extinguish, it seems 3 more are incited behind my back. But enough of my woes. What brings you here? You wish us to evacuate? Mayhap the idea merit. After all, if we sit on our haunches, 'tis likely only a matter of time before we share the fate of Mel. Alas, the people of Batal are far from united in purpose at present. Should we proceed, unheeding of their divisions, I fear that our efforts would come undone ere long. With every soul at their wits' end, conflict is like to spark at the slightest. As such, before we take any measures, I would have you walk amongst the people, sir, and should you encounter any discord, pray do aught you can to resolve the. Such efforts will doubtless allow the evacuation to proceed all the more smoothly. As for me, my work here is far from done. Let us part ways for now, and reconvene.
Flared tempers are understandable, given the circumstances. Let us aid in mediating the quarrels arising in Bagbatal.
I quite agree.
I've had well enough of your nitpicking.
I reckon the world would be better off without you.
Calm down. Take a deep breath.
Oi, you! Don't go poking your nose in our business. This is between us.
Aye, leave off or we'll make you.
You're 10 times stronger than this ain't good. Have you lost your bloody mind?
Reckon you can just cut us down in the street? What's the matter with you? Eh? Fine, fine. We'll set our squabble aside.
No sense in fighting a lost battle.
Interested in my wares?
Not much has changed since I was a girl.
The so-called Forbidden Magic Research Lab appears to have been constructed rather recently.
Oi! I saw it first. Phew, trust a flea.
Why must I share with a fangless one? This is no more your food than Batal is your land.
You there! You couldn't have come at a better time. Put this upstart in his place for me, won't you? Go on, lay into him. If that's what you think, why don't you mind your own business?
Alright, clear off. Pretty work. That's quite enough.
You said it's bad to hurt people. Wow! Thanks, sir. Say, Rakim, would you like some? I can't eat all this myself.
Really? Thanks. That's mighty kind of you. If only our fathers could do the same.
Oi, leave my kid alone.
You're not some child snatcher, are you?
Wait, you shared your food with them. Thank you, sir.
Aye. Mayhap we're not so different after all. And we both had children.
The desire to protect one's kin transcends race and culture. It just goes to show, we are none of us so different.
Outstanding.
That's not happening.
You're just riding on your father's coattails.
You slander my honor, sir! I demand a duel. This is no business of yours. Be gone!
Now, Narborough, let's not be too hasty. If we are to duel, we ought to have a witness. Otherwise, who's to say the victor fought with honor?
Aye, true enough. Without a witness, either of us could simply kill the other. Then, well, sir, what say you? Will you watch over us while I take this scoundrel to task? This knave dared to slight my honor. He said my swordsmanship was hardly fit to wound a training dummy. The bloody nerve of him.
And I'd say it again. 'Twas your dear father's patronage that made you a sentinel.
You have my gratitude, sir. Let us delay no further.
Have at you!
I don't fancy my chances. Show them what for!
This can't be happening.
Stay back! Keep back! I do not wish to injure you.
Have you lost your wits? Keep your distance.
Show them what for!
Steal yourself!
Whatever 'tis you need, I shall gladly oblige.
I admit it. I underestimated your skill. The loss is mine.
Nay, 'twas I who underestimated you. I'd thought to score.
We owe you a debt, sir. 'Tis on your account that we've seen some sense. Were it not for your timely appearance, I'd wager this nonsense might have cost one of us their life.
Indeed. Better to hone our respective skills than take up arms against petty slights, I say. It seems some things can only be resolved by crossing blades. But I doubt they'll quarrel again after this.
'Twas a pleasure to recount such good tidings.
Ah, Sir Arisen. In less pressing circumstances, I would take issue with your methods. The people of Batal are beginning to see that they must stand together if they are to survive this calamity. We shall see the fruits of your labors when the time comes to evacuate. At the very least, we need not expect too much opposition to the announcement. Pray, return to Empress Nadinia and apprise her of your doings. I must remain here to ensure no further squabbles arise. Heavens only know how many lives you have saved this day. I hope you'll accept this humble reward for your efforts.
What say we report back to Empress Nadinia? Her Majesty ought to be willing to commence the evacuation now. By your leave. More must be urged to evacuate.
We ought to choose our next destination based on the movements of the clouds.
Her Majesty has begun her supplications. None may
Stay your hand, Vera. This one may pass. Come hither. We would speak with you. One of our ministers informs us that you have been espied in the city, resolving the people's troubles. You have our gratitude for your efforts, which have doubtless bettered the fate of this nation and its citizenry. Your journey continues, does it not? We wish you good fortune on your travels, wheresoever.
Pray excuse the interruption, Your Majesty, but I fear time is upon us. I would see you prepared for the road ahead.
Indeed. Forgive us, but we must take our leave. Farewell.
Back Batal and the rest town are now safely evacuated. I am certain we can rely upon Sir Manella to keep the peace.
That was certainly worthwhile.
Perhaps prayer will ease my troubled mind.
Now here's a surprise.
A splendid discovery. Interesting. I shall have to inform my own master of this.
We've made it then. What's our first order of business, Arisen?
Now, mayhap you'll think twice before doubting what I tell you, eh?
Arisen, I know of at least one location in the vicinity that may be of interest to you. Shall I tell you more?
Well met, sir. How might I be of service? Always a pleasure.
Well met, sir. Can't remember.
For bread and board, you'll find none better. Glad to be of service, sir.